Oh, hey everyone, I'm Abigail, and this is my crib. Come on in. Before you come all the way in, you've got to stop and take off your shoes. So the first thing you'll notice when you come in is my wall full of pictures. In South Korea, there's a lot of photo booths here, so it's really fun to go with your friends, and it's like $3 to get a 4-cut of photos, so it's a really popular thing to do. Another great thing about my house is the Ondo, which is floor heating. That's my only source of heating, but it's really nice when you lay on the floor. And as you already noticed, you took your shoes off and there is a little bit of a dip in the floors, and it's just a place to put your shoes to help keep the rest of your house more sanitary and clean. Now let's keep going. Right over here is my closet. It's in the middle of my kitchen, and actually I used to have my fridge here, and you'll see why later, but I really had nowhere else to put them, so I figured this is a good space, so I have a place to finally put my clothes that was easily accessible. And right here you'll see my trusty air fryer that pulls out. This is probably where 90% of my meals are cooked. This thing comes in handy for most of my meals. My kitchen is not very big and there's nowhere to sit. Luckily, there's a solution to that problem. I can pull out my table, and now I've got a place to sit, eat, study, do lots of things right here. Because there's not much space anywhere else to do anything. Of course, I still have to do laundry. I have a washing machine right here, this nifty thing. It's all in Korean, so I do have to translate anytime I want to change the setting. Unfortunately, there is no dryer. Then over here, I've got my trusty kettle. I used to have an espresso machine, but I drink a lot of coffee, and it would take like 2 or 3 espresso pods just to make my one Americano, so it was really wasteful. Now I just drink these little pour-overs that are like single-serve pour-overs, so my kettle comes in handy for that. Now, this wouldn't be an episode of Cribs if I didn't show you what's in my fridge. Not much is in my fridge at all. Of course, I've got condiments and soda, but the most important thing is my kimchi. I would not be living in Korea if I didn't have a container of kimchi in my fridge. And unfortunately, my freezer is just as sad. I have some frozen meals that I cook in the air fryer, a piece of chocolate, and some frozen chicken for when I actually do cook instead of just heating up my frozen dinner meals. Next to my fridge, I have a piano. I know you guys are all wondering, oh, you play piano.
No.
But my boyfriend does, and he plays really well. So we do have a piano here for him to practice on when he's over, and I love listening to him. Now let's keep going. I'm going to show you where all the real magic happens. This is the bedroom. As you can see, it's not very big. My bed is on the floor in college frat boy style. It's a comfortable bed, but unfortunately it's really hard to roll out of because I'm such an old lady. I have this secret door. Before my closet was out there, I actually used this for a closet, but let's show you why that's not the best idea. I barely fit in here, so putting clothes away and trying to get things out of here was not working. It's not meant to be a closet, it's just the boiler room. So now it's just used as storage. Before we go into this next room, why don't you go ahead and look down? I know you're probably wondering why I've got flip-flops in the middle of my house. Well, welcome to South Korea. Let me show you why. Because this is my bathroom. It's also my shower. As you can see here, I've got the shower hose. When this knob is off, it's normal. However, when I turn it, the water comes out. This is bad for a couple reasons. One reason is after I shower, even if I squeegee, the whole floor is still completely covered with water. So having the shoes helps me not get my feet soaking wet every time I come in here to use the bathroom. The other terrible part about that is if my boyfriend takes a shower and doesn't turn it off, then the next time I come in and wash my hands, I end up getting a second shower. Another unique thing about my house is that I've got adult-sized towels, which is kind of rare in Korea because they use little washcloths to dry themselves. So if you ever come to Korea, just be prepared. You might get a little tiny towel to dry yourself off after you take a shower. Now that you've seen all my house, I think it's time for you to get going. So come on, let's get you out of here. Thank you for coming to my tiny apartment tour. 200 square feet, but I guess I can't complain for $380 a month. Have a good day, guys, and I'll see you next time. 괜찮아.